This is China Week Part 4. You know, it's always been China, guys. It's always been China. And everything we do now and everything I see is China. Speaking of China, let's bring in our partner in justice, my partner in justice, your partner in justice, our partner in justice, Shady Groove.
Matrixxx, how are you today, sir? It's Thursday. It's China Week Part 4. I hope our audience is getting the significance of this information, my friend. It seems like they're paying attention out there.
Yeah, it does. It does. And our president, our DOJ, our Secretary of State is talking about China. We're going to get into that for a minute. But while we wait for some more people to get in here, let's see, how many people do we have in here right now? We got 264. I want to play this for you because this is what we're under, guys. We're under this. Let's play this real quick and we'll come right back with some big booms, guys. Wait till you see the booms that nobody else but you, me, Shady, all you red-pilled, beautiful audience on YouTube, we got to get this word out. We're going to come back right after this.
Where I was born, we're supposed to have free speech. But we sold our rights away to the land of censorship. So we held our overlords till we drowned in a sea of green. And we live beneath the boot under Chinese censorship.
Come on, guys, sing it.
We all live under Chinese censorship, and we're all in debt. There's no more to bet. We all live under Chinese censorship. Let's roll out the tanks, the Uyghurs and Gens. The Uyghurs are on board to be taught to love China more. And Xi Jinping starts to say,
You don't happen to have any honey, do you?
we all live under Chinese censorship. They say Qing Zhen Zhong and no press Hong Kong. We all live under Chinese censorship, and we are the ones who sell your organs. As we live a life of lease, our countries on earth have become Greece. Sky afire over Taiwan for a worldwide Chinatown.
This is it, guys. Crimes Against Humanity, folks. A transnational criminal organization, guys. Stay tuned.
We all live under Chinese censorship. Tiananmen protest led to no arrest. We all live under Chinese censorship. Say Winnie the Pooh and we'll arrest you. We all live under Chinese censorship. Chinese censorship. Chinese censorship. We all live.
That is an amazing song. Chinese censorship right there from the Mechanic Shark channel, guys. Very, very good song. Very appropriate for today, guys. Shady Groove, how you doing, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing really well. I really am seeing a lot of stuff that is pointing to your president wanting us to be talking about this and having a larger conversation out there. I think is a really big deal because it's not just in the big cities, guys. This stuff is everywhere. It's in our communities. It's in your institutions. It is everywhere, and no one is talking about it.
Yep, nothing's happening, Shady. The U.S. Department of Justice to declare Chinese Communist Party a transnational criminal organization. Here it is here. Let me grab the link and I'll bring it in. But Shady, look at this. Look at this right here, Shady. I mean, wow.
Exactly right. You know, we've spent the last, I mean, I would say what, 3, 4, 5 decades pretending like communist China wasn't a threat.
Right.
Until your great POTUS came into office, and now all of a sudden the information is right on the surface and being pointed at so that Americans can wake up other Americans to the reality that we are living in China censorship.
That's right. And that's a Fox article. I can't grab it right now because I'm trying to do two things at once. But back in February 9, 2017, this executive order was put in just as soon as he came into office, our president. It's called the Presidential Executive Order on Enforcing Federal Law with Respect to Transnational Criminal Organizations and Preventing International Trafficking, Shady.
Boom.
I mean, if that's not a boom and a half.
And notice and let's just notice on that you had there, that's February, what was that, February of 17, right?
Yes.
So, just understand this, guys. This is within, what, 15, less than 20 days of him taking office?
Yes.
So this preceded the 1221 EO by 8 months. So this is obviously something very on the forefront of Donald Trump's intentions once he took office.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously it is. I mean, here we are now seeing it. I got the link here, guys. Here's the link to the actual story. And I think we need to check it out. This is NGOs, activists press bar to declare Chinese Communist Party a transnational criminal organization. The effort comes as tensions between Washington and Beijing continue to flare, compounded by the U.S. shuttering Chinese consulate in Houston last week. Remember, they shut that consulate down in Houston, and some of them actually left to go to another consulate. There's some hiding out in the San Francisco one, imagine that, and New York. So the letter addressed to William Barr and dated July 23 claims that Chinese Communist Party lethally and criminal sophistication demonstrates that the lawless CCP poses a clear and present danger to health, security, and prosperity of America. The letter was sponsored by religious freedom outfit Save the Persecuted Christians Coalition. And here's the letter. Very amazing. This is it right here. You can sign the letter too, but this is the letter. Dear AG Barr, this letter was written as an urgent entreaty to you as American chief law enforcement officer and the authority to declare the Chinese Communist Party as a transnational criminal organization, a TCO. The evidence of the CCP's global criminality is overwhelming and proliferating throughout the United States. The CCP's lethality and criminal sophistication demonstrates this lawless CCP poses a clear and present danger to health, security, and prosperity of America. Health, Shady, do you think they are hurting our health in any way?
It seems like they might have hurt our health just a little bit, my friend.
With Taiwan, or excuse me, Taiwan is now a country, and they hate when we call them a country. Sorry about that, Taiwan. My apologies. But
yeah.
China virus, guys. So this transnational.
It's just real quick. I wanted to throw in there. Notice how we had Kamala Harris come out yesterday and accept the VP nomination, and she literally said that your president was the reason for the joblessness and the reason for the deaths. She did not say China.
Nope.
She did not at all point to where it actually came from. She did not tell the truth. She pretended like the president of the United States unleashed a virus onto the public when it was China.
Well, Shady, let me stop you right there. Maybe she did tell the truth.
Oh,
because of our president stopping China and moving companies back to the U.S. and jobs and manufacturing like any nonpartisan person would want. You ask anybody, should we have jobs in America? They'd probably say yes, right? So with him going against China, this virus was released because they don't like the tariffs and they don't like what he's doing to them. So could she have been telling the truth, Shady?
Good point.
Had we had Hillary, we probably wouldn't have this virus, or we'd have that war so we could get the $700 billion that they want in the China virus wave 2. Remember, George Bush the second did that $700 billion bailout. The banks ate each other up and moved all their operations to China. Guys, they moved our United States of America and body politic to China. That trust went to China. We're trying to get it back with these with these executive orders, right? What do you think,
And
Shady?
with the tariffs, yes.
with the tariffs, executive orders. So this is the open letter. So this is the CCP, Transnational Criminal Organization designation is clearly justified. The epidemic of American citizens victimized and killed by the Chinese manufactured and transmittal lethal synthetic drug, fentanyl. According to the CDC, deaths involving other synthetic narcotics, include fentanyl, and fentanyl analogs continued rise to more than 31,000 overdose per year. There's 180 people dying of fentanyl every day, Shady.
Man, I know, and it's really taken hold. They're even people are smoking this stuff now. I mean, it is crazy how many people this is affecting. No one really sees it. Like out here on the West Coast, it's a lot different, even I think, than back east because it's so just prevalent here. But man, this is a scourge that is deteriorating our society from the inside out.
That's right. So this letter is very good, guys. They do seek total control over your lives, guys. This means economic control, it means political control, and it means physical control. And perhaps more importantly, it is means of thought control. And we've got confirmation on the thought control, and we'll go to that in a second. But this is the article. I think we should do it. We've got another thing happening too here. As we pointed out yesterday, the Treasury enacted the executive order that Q pointed us to. It's this action is taken in pursuant of Executive Order 13818, blocking the property of persons involved in serious human rights abuse or corruption, guys. And that EO is included, in that EO is included the Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act, guys. So people are saying nothing's happening, Shady.
I see that people are saying nothing's happening, and also people aren't too happy with us talking about this.
That's right. We're getting some drop frames. I've got 3 warnings right now, but you know what, China? We're going forward. And let's watch this, Shady, real quick, because this is let's watch this real quick. This is a video from the Epoch Times, or Epic, or Epoch, or Tomato. I think it's Epoch in my opinion, but here we go. Check it out.
The Chinese Communist regime is killing people and harvesting their organs. Although most media have remained almost completely silent on this issue over the last decade, there's been mounting evidence that the Chinese Communist Party's transplant system is completely unethical, and honestly, it's evil. Since 1999, the number of transplants in China just took off. China went from having 150 transplant centers in 1999 to over 714 of them today. But what's beyond belief is where these organs are coming from. The Epoch Times has been doing deep investigations, and what they've reported on is truly shocking. They've had hospitals advertise online that they could guarantee patients' organs within the time frame of weeks, and that they could even schedule operations in advance. To put that in perspective, here in the US, the waiting time for a kidney is 5 years, but in China, you can get it next month. And for these Chinese hospitals, it's an extremely profitable business, as their websites show that they're charging $30,000 for corneas, $60,000 for kidneys, and $150,000 for hearts. Just imagine what a single person is worth to them. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you might think that it makes sense because China is a big country and they must have a lot of organ donors, right? This is where it gets really scary. The Chinese newspaper Beijing Today reported in 2011 that the Beijing Red Cross said that over the past 20 years, only 37 people nationwide registered to be organ donors. 37 people in all of China. So where are these organs coming from? Well, in 2010, China's Vice Minister of Health admitted that over 90% of these organs come from executed prisoners. But that doesn't make any sense. China executes an estimated 8,000 prisoners a year, which is far, far less than the 60,000 transplants that they do every year. So where are these organs really coming from? Researchers have concluded that China is killing and harvesting organs from prisoners of conscience. Practitioners of Falun Gong in particular are believed to be the main sources for these organs. Our reporters have spoken to practitioners of this meditation discipline who escaped China, and they told us that while they were being tortured in prisons, they would also be subjected to blood tests, urine tests.
And guys, and where do our missing children go? This is absolutely disgusting, and this is it right here. They are involved in serious crimes, Shady, against humanity.
we talk about like that was a very good piece right there and extremely accurate about, what's going on with the transplants and stuff. But we also have lots of other nefarious things going on with Planned Parenthood and the material there, and as well as cadavers here in America. Believe it or not, there's been a couple of ships that were confiscated that had frozen dead Americans on them that were being shipped to China, guys. So they're doing something with all of this human-based material there, and it's not pretty.
Right. And by the way, this is I before E except after Y. Family Y is in China, guys. So there's a misspelling code from the president, possibly saying that we're on the right track. That's just my quick decode. The I and the E are, so the E and the I replaces the E. I before E, except after Y. Family Y, Chyna, China. You see how he says it, right? Very interesting. So, by the way, you know why Q, Shady, puts Bing searches for searching QAnon?
Why would that be?
Microsoft's Bing search engine is back online in
China,
folks. China. So when Q, goes to Bing, right? .com. So let's go to Bing. Let's go to Bing. Bing. I tell you, Shady, you guys are really blowing this shit wide open. Oh, Bill, get out of here.
Bill, I did not invite you out of the closet.
So this a search engine, all right, here, a Schlady, is Bing, and QANON. Right, there you go. So there's QAnon. Let's look at images, or videos. News. Is that what he looks at? News. What if the QAnon is the new Tea Party? 8 minutes ago. A playbook for combating QAnon. They've got the playbook, Shady. Is QAnon the new Christian right? With evangelicals fading, a new insanity rises. They don't like that you like God, folks. The congressional candidate from QAnon. Ooh, that's the Marjorie Taylor Greene, who
that
POTUS says. What does POTUS say? Go ahead. She's a star.
I was going to say that headline that you just read right before should give you a lot of what you need to know, because it says, is QAnon the new Christian right? With evangelicals fading, a new insanity rises. So they're saying that QAnon is just as insane as Christianity. That's what they're saying.
Right. Well, do you know that you know about Salon.com, right?
Sure. Yeah.
They Salon.com. Salon, O-N, pedophile.
Quite a number of articles that they have here.
Yeah, Salon.com shouldn't have unpublished its article by a pedophile. I'm a pedophile, but not a monster. Salon.com, the pedophile. I could not help it. He was not. I'm a pedophile. And they're loving it, guys. Travis View is from Salon.com. He's an anti-Q person. He works for a pedophile normalization website, folks.
Sure
Salon.com.
Anons know.
See, Salon should not have published by a pedophile. Salon apparently deletes controversial article. Self-described pedophile Todd Nickerson, guys. Pedophile calls me out. Guys, Salon.com. Virtuous pedophiles. Look at that.
They're attempting normalization amongst the brain dead masses.
Right. Salon.
People just go along with things. They don't think.
Travis View, and that's who they're quoting in a lot of these things. Travis View, Salon.com. You don't say. Shady.
The leading forefront on anti-Q propaganda
is working for a pedophile normalization website, guys.
Trying to convince you that there's no such thing as human global worldwide trafficking.
That's right.
Slavery and pedophilia.
Oh, gosh. It's crazy, isn't it? This is your guy, Travis View. Oh, it's just disgusting, guys. So now, Salon.com, we go back to Bing, which is operated out of China, guys, which is why Q uses it. You guys follow me now, right? That's why the MAGA hat is Chinese red with Make America Great Again right on front of it, right on top. That's a decode. That is troller in chief. It took me, 3 years to figure this out, Shady? You guys get that? Look at the Make America Great hats, guys. It's Chinese red with Make America Great Again on it.
You couldn't thumb your nose at them any better.
Right. So look at this. What if QAnon? They do not like us, guys. And you know what? Boom. Trevor Noah calls out QAnon's glaring hypocrisy. Trump was BFFs with Jeffrey Epstein. What if he was investigating Jeffrey Epstein? Will Summer.
Look at all the times on this. I mean, we've had probably 30 to 40 articles written about QAnon in the mainstream media in the last 24 hours, guys.
Look at this.
They're putting it on CNN. They're putting it on MSNBC. They are freaking out over their inability to keep you brainwashed.
Look at this. Oh my gosh. And this is on Bing Bang Bong.
Well, I'm also seeing on Twitter, and maybe some of the other guys in the audience here are seeing this, but they're claiming that the QAnon are the ones who are doing the trafficking now.
Oh God. I saw that some even QAnon people are saying that.
Yes, I saw this.
It's so stupid. So
this is an infiltration type narrative that they're attempting to run, that the people who are tweeting about QAnon are the human traffickers in an organization that is a global organization that doesn't exist.
So look there and not here. By the way, breaking news, the Trump administration has designated Confucius Institute as a foreign influence agent of the Chinese regime, folks. Confucius Institute. We went over this on Monday, guys. Shady.
Not your friends.
Not your friends, folks. And our president is talking about it. The red shoes the red shoes meant China here, not the blue dress. It was a cover-up for Chinagate. It goes back to Nixon, guys. This is Microsoft. Could it be China? Yes, it's China. Here it is. Data shows U.S. companies are definitely leaving communist China. Folks, they're leaving. We're winning.
We've given them no choice.
And by the way, enough of the labels. We are Trump supporters. And by the way, the GOP knows that 30 or 40% of Trump supporters knows about Q. So, dear GOP swamp, never Trumpers, fake MAGA patriots are coming for you. We vote. MAGA candidates, we are with you. By the way, you can call me a QAnon believer or whatever. It's not a QAnon believer. It's believe in yourself. Oxymoronic. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Oxymoronic says, I've learned the truth from both of you. God bless you both, Shady.
Thank you so much.
Very nice. Wow. Anderson Cooper. Let's watch this. Let's watch Anderson Cooper. This is funny. Watch when he says, and they're talking about me being on the flight line. He stutters and stammers. The body language expert should get all over this. Let's check it out.
Tonight, a supporter of a bizarre conspiracy theory.
Bizarre, guys.
QAnon is closer than ever to holding actual power in the country for the first time. Marjorie Taylor Greene won the Republican congressional primary in Georgia's 14th district last night, running against a traditional conservative. She has a track record of racist and anti-Semitic comments, along with videos where she fully embraces QAnon, which is a bizarre conspiracy theory that traffics in age-old anti-Semitic tropes and alleges that a cabal of Satan-worshipping child molesters is really pulling the strings of the deep state, Hollywood, media, and just about everything all around the world.
Q is a patriot. He is someone that is very much loves his country, and he's on the same page as us. According to him, many in our government are actively worshiping Satan, or they call Moloch. I mean, is it going to be true that the child pedophilia in the elites in the Washington, D.C., is that what we're really going to see come out? Is it true? Is the type of corruption we're going to see come out, is it going to be satanic worship?
Some in the GOP worked to stop Greene's victory, including House Minority Whip Steve Scalise, who maxed out the donation limit for her rival. But today, most Republican leaders were silent about her win in the primary, and party officials tried to deflect. One notable exception, President Trump, who today praised Greene as strong on everything and a future Republican star. QAnon believers claim that President Trump is secretly working to break up this satanic worshiping cabal of child molesters. So the president has a motive for giving these conspiracy theorists some plaudits because they support him. QAnon surfaced from the dark corners of the internet in the first year of the Trump presidency. It began with cryptic messages from an anonymous person in a chat room. Many of the earliest claims and predictions by this anonymous person or group or country, it could be Russia, who knows, or could Iran or anybody, have proven completely wrong of the original theories. But nevertheless, the conspiracy theory continues. It's impervious to fact-checking. You may recall the man who went heavily armed to a pizza parlor in D.C., believing it was a base for child sex trafficking ring run by the Clintons. Well, it was just a pizza parlor, and he's now in prison. This group claims their claims are as nonsensical and slanderous as they are bogus. But less than a year after it surfaced, QAnon followers made their way into a Trump rally within the president's view. You see the sign there, "We are Q." The Secret Service didn't ask them to leave. In fact, a year later, the White House welcomed a QAnon supporter to its social media summit, and the president has repeatedly retweeted QAnon followers' messages. Our Gary Tuckman is in Georgia tonight. Gary, she kicked the media out of her victory party last night.
Do you see how scared he sounds, guys?
A short time ago. How did that happen? What did she have to say?
By the way, let me just stop this real quick.
Following members of...
Let me stop this real quick. There is a Q post, Shady. They're calling, he said, a rising star in the Republican Party, Shady. Guess what? Here's Q post 3968 from 4/15/2020. I suspect there's a ton of sleepers, Paul Ryan et al. Do you think it was Paul Ryan's choice to step down? Rising star in our party? Huh. Just chew on that for a minute while we go back.
The news media getting kicked out of the victory party. I reached out to her press secretary and asked if we could do an interview with her. I did not expect to hear back, and indeed I did not hear back, so we decided to travel here to Rome, Georgia, about 70 miles northwest of Atlanta. I drove by here, her headquarters, saw some people hanging out, parked my car, walked up. I was by myself at the time. There was a woman sitting in the car, and indeed it was Marjorie Greene. Her window was rolled up. I motioned to her, could you roll your window down? I had my mask on. She did not recognize me. I told her who I was. She didn't look happy, but I can tell you that she was polite and she was cordial to me, and for the record, so was I. And I asked her, what do you think of QAnon? And she told me, quote, I'm not talking about that. I want to talk about the kind of business person I am. People don't talk about that, how successful I am. And indeed, she and her husband are in the construction business. They're very successful. She also said she is not a racist, and all her friends know she's not a racist. But then I asked her again, please, what's your position on QAnon and what QAnon stands for? And she said, quote, I don't want to do an interview. She then said goodbye, rolled up her window. I snapped a picture of her encounter, and she then drove off. So she had a chance to support QAnon. She did not do that. She also had a chance to denounce QAnon, and she did not do that. Now, I talked with the executive editor of the local paper, a good paper here. It's called the Rome News Tribune, and he told me it was so unusual. His reporter got kicked out. That's never happened since he's been here, and he's been here for many years. We did see the victory speech, however, because it was put on Facebook by Marjorie Greene. And here's what's notable. She said something very profane and anti-female about the Speaker of the House.
I just want to say to Nancy Pelosi, she's a hypocrite. She's an anti-American, and we're going to kick that bitch out of Congress.
Marjorie Greene had a chance to hold up an olive branch during that speech. She did not, Anderson.
From my understanding, this is a pretty reliable Republican district. She's won the primary. How good a chance does she have of winning the general election?
Right, so this district was created in 2010 after the census. It's always been held by a Republican. As a matter of fact, by one particular Republican, Tom Graves. He's retiring this year. In 2018, he received 77% of the vote. This is a very red district, and we anticipate that Marjorie Greene will be the next congresswoman from this district.
Gary Tuckman. Gary, thanks very much.
So they even went in it further, too. It was basically... really afraid. He's like, yeah, these Q people, they say that I'm part of it, and my mother's a child trafficker, and oh my gosh, it was very, very interesting, Shady.
Man, I just really see the different edges of panic right now, not only in the media, but look at the way that they're going after her, accusing her of being anti-Semitic, all of the same diatribes. They bring up the pizza parlor thing that happened 6 months before Q started to post. But they're consistently trying to connect it with that. But man, the overarching reality to see how they're panicking. We also have massive pushback going on in the intel committees right now in the Senate, where we have people blocking subpoenas that are being issued right now.
That's right.
So they're all working together. The very interesting thing about Scalise there, but we just really don't know which swamp is the deepest. And any of these individuals that are there, like, that was talking about Paul Ryan leaving, there's many others. We aren't seeing the kind of forward progress we like to see on a lot of this stuff. So it really does indicate that they're hiding something, right?
Yep. And POTUS isn't. Rising star in the R party, Shady. And look at the tweet. Congratulations to future Republican star Marjorie Taylor Greene on a big congressional primary win in Georgia against a very tough and smart opponent. Marjorie is strong on everything and never gives up. A real winner.
And then, you know, speaking with Joe Ray and stuff, like the media that have contacted her, they do not want to talk about anything with her other than Q. Like literally, CNN, ABC, MSNBC have all contacted, and the only thing they want to speak to her about is QAnon.
Right.
They, even though they think that she can't win in Oregon, and even though she's maybe like the outside candidate or whatever, they're not wanting her anything that she says other than to discredit her about Q and talk about Q. So the fact that it's only thing on their mind, the fact that they've written all these articles about us in the last couple of days is directly what Q told us was going to start to happen.
There's future Senator Joe Ray Perkins, Shady.
Yeah.
You know, Joe Ray, we could have you jump in real quick if you'd like. But, you know, let me know. I can DM it on Twitter for you. She's amazing, Shady. She said that she had an interview with and that's what you were talking about, right?
Yeah, I didn't speak with her last night, but I was curious of how it went.
Me too. They're probably, you know, trying to do exactly what you said, you know. Joe Ray Perkins, she's been on this show several times, and we're you know, people have to realize that Q followers or Q people that read Q are basically Trump supporters, folks. I mean, it's that simple.
Let's go grab post real quick.
All right, give me go ahead. 1 second, but go ahead.
All right, 3501.
All right, give me 1 second because I gotta try.
Because I want you guys to see in this post, it kind of shows you how China is connected to the threat against your president and what they've been doing in the background to undermine. You know, this is not just your deep state undermining. This is China working actively to undermine the administration of the elected administration of the country. All
right. And while we were doing that, Shady, I just sent that over to Joe Ray, the invite to come on. What's your post number again, Shady? 3501?
3501, yes.
Okay. Here it comes, guys. And Shady, take it away, my brother.
Possible China monitored the Mueller hearing. Possible China analyzing likelihood of the president's re-election in 2020. Possible China taking steps, think propaganda, to harm POTUS regarding 2020. Possible China in secure comms with D candidates running for president regarding reinstitute of the U.S. piggy bank. Possible China in secret comms with former D party senior officials to reinstate U.S. piggy bank. Possible China put extreme threatening pressure on North Korea the day of the Mueller hearing. Coincidence? Wow. Should hearing swing to POTUS? Possible acts were taken in effort to diminish and lessen the D party blow. Possible acts were taken in effort to change the narrative, to find false flags. I'd like to bring your attention to these Confucius Institutes and to your universities and to the propaganda that's being spearheaded into your children's heads about China and your president and who's on what side. Okay, you think this whole Lincoln Project, the 1619 Lincoln Project, where's all this stuff coming from to subvert our Constitution and our institutions here in America? It's coming from China.
Yep. I mean, we were censored by Baidu, Youku. And that's a YouTube in China. And by the way, Mitt Romney's Bain Capital. And by the way, the Youku CEO in China used to work for Bain Capital.
Pierre Delecto.
Yeah. I mean, this is insane what's happening. So, Joe Ray, if you're there, I DM'd you the link to get on to, if you want to join us today, you're more than welcome. We got a hard stop here in about 20 minutes. So, guys, TikTok. Yes, just a day ago, they found that they're tracing Android users, folks. despite Google's private. Alphabet never left China, guys. Let's go back to Baidu. Let's do a little quick dig, guys. Let's do a live dig. So let's look at what's their name? Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg. Let's listen. Oh, for some reason, I'm typing in the wrong window here. Let's look at Chan Zuckerberg.
And while you're doing that, right, real quick, I want to insert this. Kamala Harris, her husband, guys, do a little bit of dig into her husband, Imhoff. He is the head of one of the top 3 multinational law firms in the world. And so this guy, Kamala Harris's husband, is directly connected to the Chinese government.
That's right. All right, here you go. Look at this. This is Chan Zuckerberg Initiatives, key California ballot measures, guys. Here you go. Here's your China connection right here to the ballots in China. Oh my gosh. So anyways, this is the Chan Zuckerberg Foundation. And the way that Mark Zuckerberg met this guy, I guess, was from a guy by the name of Chang that used to work in the U.S. And it's really possible in the U.S. that Chan drops the G, just like Jackie Chan used to be Benjamin Chang. You see? So she could actually be a Chang, folks. And Alphabet never left China.
Seems glaringly obvious.
Yeah. So let's look at Zuckerberg. Let's go to the live dig. I don't know if I spelled his name right. Zuckerberg. Yeah, I meant that. Mark Zuckerberg. So here he is. This is Mark Zuckerberg. His handler is... Who's his handler? Priscilla Chan. Okay, here's Priscilla Chan. She was born in China, guys. She went to Facebook shares. Oh, yeah. In 2005, with the pledge to transfer 99% of their Facebook shares valued at $45 billion, guys. She attended Harvard. That's where they met, right? According to what they say. You went to the University of California. Right there. But if you look at her early life, she was born in, Chan was born in Braintree, Massachusetts, grew up in Quincy, suburb of Boston. Her parents were Chinese refugees who fled Vietnam, refugee boats. So if they fled Vietnam went to Vietnam to flee China, why are they supporting them so much? Joe
Makes
Ray,
no sense.
Joe Ray, it's in there. It's in there. I'll just put it right here. Paste. There it is. It's up in the message body there. But look at this. So Chan married Zuckerberg. So if you look at, I did a huge dig, and you look here. So let's look at Baidu, right? So Baidu would be the Google, Badu, I believe it's called, Baidu or Baidu, China. Is it Baidu? Baidu. There it is. Look, they're on NASDAQ. Company overview. Here it is. See? Can you guys read that? You got it?
I can't read that.
So this is the Wikipedia. This guy is Robin Lee is the founder. Have we been talking about the Lee family, folks?
Lee.
She has password. Okay. She's coming in, hopefully. She's the co-founder. So Lee, guys, interesting. So if you look at all this, where did we meet the CEO? The CEO is founders, key people. Actually, the CEO was Yu Ku that had the ties to Chang. But look at this, guys. This is where your money goes to. They didn't need to do Dragon. They just did it under this. They canceled Dragon and put it under Baidu. Folks, it's just everything is leading to China, Shady. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sure.
China, Shady.
It's China.
Mm-hmm. Lee family. I mean, guys, we nailed it. And, a lot of the big accounts are not really talking about China, guys. And, we need to get out there and talk about China. There was a joint statement here with U.S. and Israel, right? There we go. One person is waiting. We got Joe Ray to come in. So let's quickly have a quick interview. Let's welcome Joe Ray Perkins, future senator of Oregon. Joe Ray, hello. You are on the air.
Oh, it looks like she's driving. Can you hear us, Joe Ray? She may be behind on the delay.
Okay. Well, she should hear us live on here, but we'll see. She'll jump in when she can. But, this is interesting, folks. This is interesting that, and I think that climate change means the change of business climate, guys, to China. What's up, Android? Missed it. Well, they are spying. A TikTok Android is spying on you. That was yesterday. Jeez. These people are crazy. Joe Ray, hi. How are you? Can you hear us? Something went wrong. There we go. Joe Ray. I can see her. She is driving. Aw. And they spied on the campaign. Who do you think spied, Shady?
China.
With China. Exactly right. We're looking at the Confucius Institutes. Those are big too. We have one right here in Broward County, Shady.
Man, and they're all over the West Coast.
Absolutely. They're everywhere. So Confucius Institutes. China Confucius Institute designated as a foreign mission of Beijing 32 minutes ago, folks.
And also, Pompeo was in the Czech Republic yesterday, and he was warning them about China not being your friend and explaining exactly how this went down and that China did this intentionally. So the narrative that China released this intentionally on the world, the Kung Flu is starting to catch fire. Like, we're really starting to drive this narrative that they did it intentionally, not this was some happenstance jump from a bat in a market to a person.
That's right. I agree. Joe Ray, can you hear us? She can't hear. She might have a mute on or something, but she's here, but we can't hear her. So that's huge stuff. This is the Confucius Institutes, guys. They are Chinese spies too, and we saw that video yesterday, Shady. I think it was yesterday. We played that whole video. Maybe it was the day before. I can't remember. But they can fire a teacher at any time in the U.S. Confucius Institutes, guys.
They could disqualify a teacher.
That's right. In the U.S. So let's look at the history. Here it is. CPC leaders organized and denounced Confucius. But this is the Confucianism. I bet there's a Lee in here somewhere. Oh my gosh. So guys, everything is leading to China. Shady.
Yeah, go grab post 4524 real quick.
Okay.
A pretty recent one. And this gives us a link to a Twitter account, but this is telling us exactly what we're thinking, guys. 4524.
I got listexia. Good catch. Coincidence? Important people understand for future events. Assumption or based on intel. All assets, foreign and domestic, deployed. D plus China equals 11-3.
And then this anon says, Q-proof, POTUS, especially China, are they going to print millions of ballots on the exact same paper using the exact same machines? Answer is yes.
Yes.
What they're going to do. And they're going to inundate the post office with this stuff that are going to be blatantly fake ballots from out of country presented like they're coming to you through the mail. What's going on with all this stuff they're sending with the seeds in the mail? There is some really weird stuff going on out there, and China is testing for something.
That's right. Yeah. And by the way, Blackstone bought Ancestry.com, guys.
And Ancestry.com has one of the largest DNA databases now on the planet. A lot of people don't know that, but they do have a huge DNA database now, literally the largest. And now they're owned by who?
Blackstone.
China.
And Blackstone is also that stone that everybody worships, right?
Black cube?
Yeah, they call it the Blackstone. the black stone right here. See it? There it is. There's your black stone. And by the way, the rumors that I've heard, and this is just a theory, that the Blackstone Group that used to be part of Goldman Sachs, they're actually helping with the, they're buying up all their assets and helping with the bankruptcy of the Federal Reserve to bring it into the Treasury, guys. Joe Ray, do we have you?
Yeah, I'm here.
There you are.
Hey, Joe Ray, there she is.
So this is Joe Ray Perkins, future senator of Oregon. I can't wait. And I want to just touch base with you. You let me know that you were on your way to a park to meet with This is CNN. How did it go?
Well, it was rather interesting. They refused to allow my team to videotape.
Oh, what? Really?
Yep.
And what purpose?
Huh?
For what purpose? How would they not let you?
Because of copyright.
Oh, copyright of you?
They're copywriting you.
Like, yeah. Although we allowed CNN to videotape my press release in Portland 2 weeks ago.
Right. Oh, that's right. Now, did you, by any chance, have somebody just having a phone in their pocket? Just listening?
No. So, what we ended up doing is doing an audio only, and we had 2 different audio devices going.
Okay,
at
good.
the same time. They actually called to their headquarters 4 times.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So they came to Oregon specifically to interview me. They came to Albany, Oregon. So they drove a roughly hour and a half down from Portland and went to a really nice park we have about a half a mile from my house. So it was really convenient for us because I was a half a mile from home. And they refused to allow my team to videotape.
Wow. And did you see that the president called the Georgia Republican, who is a Q believer, quote unquote, said that she's a rising star?
Yeah, I would like, so Q, if you're listening, or President Trump or anybody else is on this team, I'd love to have a phone call from the president.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Unless he really wants to have Marxist Jeff Merkley stay on as a U.S. senator.
That's
right. You can't imagine.
And Merkley, is he a Republican or a Democrat?
Oh, he's a Democrat.
Democrat.
He's far left.
Because, a lot of the Republicans that are in the GOP are still swamp rats, and they still want to sign out. We'd
like a shout out to the president to say, hey, we need a rally out here.
Right?
Yeah, we do.
Joe Ray rally. Yeah,
we were
Portland. Would it be great for him to come to Portland, even
right.
though I know that's far away from you? But wouldn't that be great? Like, because that city is blowing up.
Well, it would be. We were hoping that he was going to come out pre-COVID. I believe that I know that the Oregon Republican Party was working on it, but with this COVID conundrum of campaigning that we're in,
right?
Yeah.
So we want POTUS to endorse Joe Ray Perkins.
The one county that we expected that he would go in is on shutdown by the governor. On top of that.
Right. Gotcha. So anything that stuck out to you about the CNN interview? I know we just kind of just jumped tracks like squirrel. But what,
you did.
What was the, tell us how the interview went. If you want to just tell us in your own words how that interview
you bet.
went.
Well, we started off once we finally got everything hammered out. And they asked why I'm running, which I gave them. It's what my calling is, what I know that I'm supposed to be doing. And here I am. So we talked about some of the issues, 12 years maximum. I said that I will sign on to the Born Alive Act, which my opponent, Senator Jeff Merkley, in the 116th Congress has voted against twice. And I will vote in favor of the Born Alive Act. And I also said that I will vote in favor of the Life at Conception Act.
Nice.
So, of course, they don't like that kind of thing because you know how they're going to paint me. Yeah. That's okay. I'm pro-life and not ashamed of it. and talked about that we have a job to do, that the federal government is too big. They asked, we talked a little bit about the deficit and the debt.
Okay.
And so they asked if I agree with President Trump 100% of the time. And I said, well, no. I said, I met my husband when I was 16, almost 17. We do not agree 100% of the time. I don't agree with the President 100%. So they go, well, under the president, the deficit has exploded. And I said, well, yeah, I'm not happy about it.
Right.
But if he vetoed it, they were going to rip into him for shutting down the government. He approves it. He gets ripped into for too much debt. He cannot win for losing.
That's right.
He's in a no-win situation. It does not matter what he does.
And you see what's happening with China now too, right? I mean, it's everything's in China. We've got the Treasury using the Crimes Against Humanity executive order against a portion of China. And if obviously if you follow along, China does organ harvesting and trafficking. So they do fall under that. And then there's another organization saying, hey, why don't we get these guys as a transnational criminal organization? So what I think is happening is we're trying to get China back to the U.S. I mean, it only makes sense if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Wouldn't jobs in the U.S. make sense, Joe Ray?
Oh, absolutely. And I stand with President Trump on America first. This idea that we're going to put other nations ahead of us is absolutely ludicrous. Simultaneously, other nations should have that same feeling. They should be out there fighting for the best for their people.
Right.
That's what every government is doing, that they want the absolute best so that their people can be successful. And when we're all on that same page together, we all succeed together.
Right. That's right. Remember when they were asking CNN, I think it was a CNN reporter, asked the president, how are you going to afford this and not take from Social Security? And he said, we have other ways. And he talked about there's a slush fund per se. But what I think is going to happen, we're going to get it from Shady. What do you think we're going to get it from? What are these things that we're applying to China that people are mad at?
The tariffs.
So we're going to get it on tariffs. So if our president is running around the country, or excuse me, world. Oh, she dropped off. If she's running around the world, we're going to get them on tariffs. That's how we're going to repay it. Also, in my opinion, Shady, with these EOs, won't we be able to cancel our debt with China because of all the harm that they've done to our political climate, our health,
absolutely,
and our business climate? Guys, it's all there.
I think that the whole thing that happened with COVID is going to be the lead in to really cut ties with all of this stuff. Like, we're pretty much going to be able to paint them as an adversary in law, and we're going to start litigating and really putting the screws to their whole system, because they're blatantly negligent here. They didn't just release a virus, but they lied about the virus, and then they told us that it wasn't human-to-human contact, and then they told us that it wasn't coming here, and then they locked down their own city, or the Wuhan, from the rest of China, and let hundreds of thousands of people fly to the rest of the world. This was intentional. This was knowingly, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to easily prove that.
That's right. And Joe Ray is back. Joe Ray, I wanted to rephrase my question. So remember when CNN was asking the president, you're not going to take from Social Security? He's like, we're not going to touch Social Security. We're going to get it from other places. And he talked about, I think some sort of slush fund. I can't remember what he called it. But I have a feeling our president is running around the world doing deals with other countries, and tariffs are going to go ahead and help with the national debts. What are your thoughts on the president putting tariffs on China? And they didn't like it, by the way.
Well, that's the way that our federal government used to be funded, is by tariffs. That was the norm,
right?
Was to charge tariffs country to country. So that was not unusual. And I think it's perfectly legitimate. Does that get added to the cost of our goods? Yeah, it does. I mean, let's be realistic. So does Social Security. So does income taxes that the employers have to pay. When you work for a company, whether they're selling a goods or service, they have to add that on to their cost of doing business.
Right. Right, and this
So-
he was talking about the general fund, the guys in the most red-pilled audience on YouTube and wherever you're watching us. I just said that, so it's the general fund. But what I think is going to happen, because we've got that Treasury EO, and this is it right here. This is the Treasury sanctions Chinese entity and officials pursuant to the executive order on 12/21, talking about human rights abuse, and all of those assets fall into the Treasury. So do you think that we're going to bring Chinese U.S. Chinese business back to the U.S.? And wouldn't that make sense that this would all go away once everybody is working back in America? We're making products for ourselves. We're using tariffs, and it's fair trade globally. I mean, is that what you see our president doing? What are your thoughts on that?
I have a strong suspicion that he is headed right in that direction.
Yeah. So tariffs, not income tax, right? I mean, that's what it seems like.
Exactly. And we make our decisions on how much we're going to personally, participate in the tax system based upon our consumption, not based upon our labor.
Makes sense. That totally makes sense. And so this is how our republic was formed. And Jo Rae Perkins understands that, guys. So if you want to support Jo Rae Perkins, and she's absolutely right. There's things that she's not going to agree with, and there's things that she's going to agree with. But, when we've been vetting her and talking to her, it sounds like that she understands that this is a republic. She understands how it was founded. She understands how it was funded. She seems like to me that she sees what the president is doing. And for that, I'm getting chills. We're supporting you 100%. And by the way, go to Jo Rae Perkins, Perkins for US Senate.vote, and go ahead and find her contribute. And there is a little one right at the bottom here. It's donate $17. If you donate $17, she might know that Matrixxx and Shady sent you. So go ahead, and if you can, do that $17. She is.
I could have.
Go ahead.
I was thinking I could have, because I've named some of the donations. I could have named that in the Matrixxx.
In the Matrixxx Shady. Name it Matrixxx Shady. So we got to get her funded, guys, because she is fighting the beast, folks. The candidate is more well funded. She needs to get, I think, $100,000 here soon. We need to help her get to that. We're going to make a contribution here from the Matrixxx Groove Hour. We're going to do a 17. And if you guys could let us know you did a 17, please, or more. I mean, she would love that $1,000 donation too.
And somebody, I don't know who it is, but there's somebody from Florida who maxed out at $2,800. So if you listen to this program, you haven't gotten the thank you card yet, thank you so much. I'm blown away.
Yeah, and I understand that person lives near me. So if you are that person and you live near me, I'd like to take you out to lunch. If that person is listening, and Jo Rae thanks you from the bottom of her heart. Where we go,
it really does go to like people understanding, like, we have to support these candidates like Jo Rae, Jesse Melton, and also Marjorie there in Georgia. All these candidates that are brave and will stand up for their country and aren't afraid to stand up for what they think, literally, like what they think, what they understand the world is as it really is. These people need to be supported, and we got to get behind them 110% for this next 85 days or whatever it is till we get to this election. This is imperative that we understand the significance of this election. I mean, you are literally talking about you're going to have America or you're going to have China. It is really that simple.
That's right. Now, Jo Rae, tell us about the funding requirements. Is there a requirement for funding to keep you on the ballot?
No, I'm on the ballot.
Okay,
so
you're on
there's
the
no
ballot.
funding requirement. The $100,000 is the magic number that the talking, they rephrase that, that people that have been in politics for some time feel that if you can't raise $100,000, then you're not a very good fundraiser.
Ah, okay.
And so they don't really pay attention to you.
And we know the deep state's not going to give you a dime.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's up to us, folks.
Exactly.
We have to help Jo Rae, Jesse Melton, and many others. We've got a sheriff down here in Broward, Wayne Clark, that we need to support. Oregon needs. Can you imagine if we get this a red state, Shady? What would that do?
Man, I tell you what, the people people of Oregon are thirsty for it. Up there near where she is,
Oh my gosh.
in the Salem, Portland area, it is a quagmire of morons. But the rest of the state is really sick and tired of the corruption and the swamp, and they want it drained.
Yeah, and I think we feel the same way in Broward County. Go ahead.
What's going on up here? Well, I'm going to share with you guys real quick, and then I know you have a phenomenal show that you're in the middle of. So thank you for calling me, and I appreciate it. Right after I won the primary, I received a $10 money order from a person. Don't know who it is. It was postmarked out of Santa Ana, California. She included a note, and in the note she said she's helping all these Republican candidates around the country looking for a red wave. She says every time she hears somebody is thinking about moving to or visiting Oregon, she tells them, don't go. It's too radical. It's too liberal. It's too dangerous. She says, I will not ever go to Oregon because my safety is paramount. So until Oregon is no longer the dangerous place that it is, I will never go there. And I live in California, and that is too radical.
Wow.
So imagine, this is the impression, and this was before the riots broke out.
Right.
Wow.
So this is the impression that people have of Oregon. This is an amazingly beautiful state where I'm on my way right now to a meeting that I'm speaking at, and I'm out in the country. I'm going through farmland. I'm actually just west of Salem, probably about 15, 20 miles to that, 10 miles west of Salem. And but you wouldn't know. It's like a whole different country.
Wow.
A whole different state out here. The same thing when you get out of the Portland metro area, down where Shady is. It's gorgeous down there. Most of the state is conservative by county. We just have a few counties that are not, and that's, of course, run by the Democrats. So we see a red wave coming. We need people to be voting. If you're not registered to vote in Oregon, October 13th is the deadline. Please register to vote. Please. Your vote matters. And we've been saying this every election cycle. And I'm saying it again because it is true, because this has been growing, that this is the most important election in our history.
It sure is.
It was the same 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago, etc. But the left is bent, and this is spiritual warfare. This is not person to person. This is powers and principalities, good versus evil. And the pits of hell, the powers of darkness, want to completely destroy us and put us under bondage. And we need to fight back. And I will fight back with everything that's within me. And I want to leave it with this, and I'm going to let you guys know, and I'll tune back in on my phone. Share this with people that don't agree with you, because I want everybody to start working on getting agreement. We all know they want us divided every way possible. When we're divided, we're weak. We have more in common with each other than we don't. So when you're talking with an adversary, don't go down the adversarial road with them first. Stop them and say, I want to ask you something. Will you agree with me, or do you agree? Because I know I do, but I'm going to guess that you want to love and be loved. You want to be able to provide for your family, have food on the table, have a roof over your head. You want to feel safe and secure in your home, and you probably, for the most part, want the government to leave you alone. Is that you?
Yeah.
And if anybody tells you no, I'm going to be in absolute shock if they say no. What that does, and I believe this wholeheartedly, that every time we get somebody that politically is on the other side of the divide from us, every agreement we get out of them, we knock a brick off that wall.
That's absolutely
right.
right.
That is something that we can do.
I think
that's
so.
What we want.
Yeah, and most people, this is nonpartisan. A lot of the, issues that quote unquote QAnon believers, which are actually Trump supporters, that's all we are, just Trump supporters and very well informed Trump supporters. We know that a lot of the people that we know in our life that are stuck in this personality battle with Orange Man and Biden and fighting and all this stuff over nothing. If we just step back and say, hey, look, do you believe in outsourcing all of our business to China? Do you think we should have jobs here in the U.S.? Do you believe in this human? We're going to have, like you said, a lot more things in common than not.
Yep.
Wow.
So Thank you guys so much. I'm going to go because I think I'm going to hit the dead zone again here.
Joe Ray, much love. Looks like we got a couple. Looks like we got a couple for you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bless you. Talk to y'all later. Yeah.
God bless you.
Definitely keep us updated, Joe Ray. Thank you so much.
Wow.
You got it. Okay. All right. Bye.
Wow, that's awesome. Joe Ray Perkins had an interview yesterday with CNN, China News Network.
CNN.
Get over there. Thank you. I saw Johan Berlin. I hope I say your name right. Berlin. 17. I saw a bunch of other 17s there. You guys are amazing. She needs our help. So we just had a future senator. And see, if we make it so, if we put it in our head that she is a future senator, she will be senator. She will be senator. Shady.
Exactly right, my friend. And we have to coalesce our energy and our effort around these candidates that are standing up for America. There is a big difference between a candidate that stands up for America and a candidate that sells out to China, and you've only got two options.
Yeah. America or China. It really does boil down to that, sadly.
Absolutely. And I think that the China week here has put a little bit of an exclamation point on that for you guys. I would like to see the chat out there. Roll me some 17s if you've learned something this week during our China week presentations. This has been a phenomenal amount of information that we presented in a short amount of time. And we have this is not just for your viewing pleasure. This is information for the future, for people in your reality who you talk to, who you can wake up. Now you have links to videos you can share with them to say, look, do you agree with this? Put the QAnon in your pocket for a second. Do you agree with China running America? Yes or no? If the answer is no, then you should pay attention to what they're really doing. And that looks like a bunch of red-pilled patriots out there, Matrixx.
That's right. Absolutely. And let's listen to this. This is how bad it is. And he needs your support, guys.
They are so wealthy. They are so wealthy. Nobody has any idea who the hell they are or what they do.
We know now.
They make more money than the drug companies. You know, in all fairness, at least the drug companies have to produce a product. And it has to be a good product. But the middlemen, well, the rebate that I'm doing cuts out the middlemen and it reduces costs, and the money goes back to the people purchasing the drugs. So I have a lot of enemies out there. This may be the last time you'll see me for a while. A lot of very, very rich enemies, but they are not happy with what I'm doing. But I figure we have one chance to do it, and no other president's going to do what I do. No other president would do a favored nations, a rebate, a buy from other nations at much less cost. Nobody. And there are a lot of unhappy people, and they're very rich people, and they're very unhappy. They are.
Yeah, and that's true. And, this is the thread, guys. Share the thread. It's amazing. We have been sold out, and it goes back Nixon, starting at Nixon. We've got the Lee family. They're everywhere. There they are right there. They are the ones that do the genetic research for the satanic hierarchy, folks. And guess who's the head of the Bill Gates Foundation of Hell? Bill and Gates of Hell. Bill and Melinda Gates of Hell.
Bill and Melinda Gates of Hell Foundation.
In China is a Lee, folks. They don't hide it from you. Whatever the price of the Chinese Revolution has obviously succeeded not only in producing more efficient and dedicated administration, but is also fostering a high morale and community of purpose. The social experiment in China is under Chairman Mao's leadership is one of the most important and successful in human history. David Rockefeller gave Lee the ports, guys. This is incredible. It's always been China. We're going to sign off. Shady, last words.
I would just like to say thank you for Joe Ray Perkins for coming on today and sharing your experiences with the CNN and standing up for your country. She is, and just to let you guys know, this is a person who is really, really motivated. She is very busy with trying to deal with a campaign here in Oregon where obviously we have the Kate Brown lockdown fiasco going on, but she hasn't stopped. She's fighting every day for the president, and she's fighting every day for America, and she really would be the best candidate. So thank you so much for Joe Ray coming on. And for everybody else out there, this is not the end. Watching videos is not your job, okay? And I'm going to be stern with you real quick. watching these videos is not your only job. Your job is to learn things for yourself and to share information with other people. And we are not going to get the message out about what's going on unless you do that. Each of you share with two people that share with two people, and you have to impart on them that if this information impresses you, you've got to pass it on to your children and to your family members. And the point of being politically correct or not talking about religion and politics in your family and all that different stuff. Those are mind control programs. We have to have discussion. If you haven't noticed, they got everybody wearing a mask. What does that mask mean? It means shut up and sit down. And so the people that are out there that aren't wearing the mask obviously aren't shutting up and they're not sitting down. If you see them, approach them, speak to them, tell them you appreciate their bravery and their courage for walking around in public without a mask, just like you're doing. That's the power that we need to take back. And that's what Matrixx and I are here on this wall trying to instill in you every day.
That's right. That's right. And remember, these shows are amazing. The China Week Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. Part 2 was actually censored, I believe. We will not be here tomorrow, but check out these Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. Look at the information. Fact check it yourself and spread it, guys. We are Digital Soldiers, Unity Seeker, and we will not lose. We will not cower.
We will not lose.
We will not lose. We will not cower. We are standing up for America, not China. And what if C before D is China before D class? With that, we're out. Good show, Shady. Much love to you. In the Matrixx with 3x's.com. You can find everything there. Matrixx.live. In the Matrixx with 3x's.live. There's merch there. There's some cool stuff. You can tip there. YouTube took away our tipping. Tipping. There's no tipping in China. Catch you later. Much love, everybody. China Week. Mods on YouTube. It's always been China, guys. With that, let's put it on that armor of God. Lee family. Look them up. Break the spell. With In the Matrixx and Shady Grooove, and you guys, the most red-pilled audience on YouTube, or anywhere for that matter. We could not do this without you. Put on the armor of God. Strong in the Lord. Break the spell. Believe in yourself, guys. Reach your full potential.